Alright there geezers, Jules here from FGS, and while we're all well aware that the open world likes of Grand Theft Auto 6, Death Stranding 2 and Monster Hunter Wilds are due to release this year, what about all of those other fantastic looking upcoming open world games that might not be on your radar yet? Well, let's take a look at some upcoming and massive open world games that you simply just need to know more about. And helping me on this journey this week is BDP226, whose suggestion is being made into a full-fat entry in this video. And if you want to be part of next week's episode, then have a think about what video game you're looking forward to playing the most that is dropping in March this year. What have you pre-ordered? What have you wishlisted? What is dropping in March that you just can't wait to play? Let me know down below. But for now, let's have a chat, as I'm Jules, this is FGS, and these are 10 upcoming open world video games you need to know about. Number 10, Subnautica 2. Less of an open world game than an open water game, Subnautica's long-awaited sequel will return players to the soggy depths for another round of visually stunning underwater exploration and survival. Officially unveiled late last year, Subnautica 2 seeks to one-up its predecessor with the introduction of co-op functionality for up to 4 players. On the one hand, this could risk undermining the anxious tension that made the original game and its spin-off Below Zero so unforgettable, but on the other side, it'll surely be a blast to explore the game's new planet with a few pals. In addition to adding new vehicles and creatures to the fray, Subnautica 2 will also allow players to modify their DNA for better survival, a feature that was actually cut from the original game. If Subnautica 2 can deliver a bigger, more diverse and more visually stunning iteration on its predecessors, then it'll surely be one of the best open world games of the next few years. And Subnautica 2 launches in early access sometime in 2025. Number 9, Crimson Desert. Crimson Desert began life as a prequel to the hit MMORPG Black Desert Online, but developer Pearl Abyss ultimately decided to rework it into a single-player outing that exists within the same universe. Crimson Desert takes place in a gorgeous medieval fantasy world on the violent continent of Pule, which mercenary protagonist Cliff attempts to defend with his comrades against untold dangers. Though tough it is for games to stand out in the open world fantasy space these days, this is quite the tantalizing package. From its cinematic story to its lush, diverse landscape and the ability to fly a damn dragon around and light things up like it's Christmas, Crimson Desert could be one of the year's biggest breakout hits if it lives up to its potential. Given that Pearl Abyss have been showing off extensive gameplay previews in recent months, it certainly seems that they're confident in what they're cooking up, which is usually a good sign. Crimson Desert is set to release in late 2025. Number 8, Crazy Taxi Reboot. At the 2023 Game Awards, Sega revealed that a long-awaited new entry into the beloved Crazy Taxi franchise was in the works, coming more than 2 decades after the last mainline installment, Crazy Taxi 3 High Roller. While the racing series has always tasked players with speeding around a large map and picking up fares, the upcoming reboot will reportedly be a full-on open-world, massively multiplayer live service title. Though there are clearly many ways that such an expansion of Crazy Taxi's scope could go horribly wrong, the prospect of a Battle Royale-esque spin-off of the series formula with dozens of cars duking it out for fares suggests that this could actually be a total blast. In the very least, it's exciting to see the long-dormant franchise finally getting back out there, and hopefully it'll carve out a glorious place for itself once again in the increasingly crowded live service space. The Crazy Taxi reboot is currently without a release date. Boo. Number 7. Atomfall. Now, it would be very easy for me to just point at BDP's comment, gesture wildly, and move on to the next entry. And sure, you know what? I'll do that really quickly for you now, if you can hear this. That's me gesturing wildly right there. Because, come on, I mean, what more do you need to know about Atomfall to get excited about it? It's a British take on Fallout/Stalker. Yes, please, I'll have some of that. A pint of warm flat ale and a bloody chip butty goovner. However, if we're being serious, and I bloody well am with my hype for this game, Atomfall looks like a truly interesting take on the post-apocalyptic open-world trope, as here you're exploring an irradiated take on the utterly stunning real-life location of the Lake District here in England. As you climb and hike your way through valleys and dales, you'll encounter crazed citizens, brash soldiers, and their heavily armored robot pals, and of course, scavengers who would quite literally kill for a cup of tea, plus all of the irradiated weird beasties that lurk below. With scavenging, searching for clues, crafting, and even metal detecting to occupy yourself with, Atomfall is chock full of things to do and ways to survive this harsh landscape, and with a tantalizing mystery as to what happened to the region hanging over you, there's a real deep narrative to pull you deeper and deeper into Atomfall. I, for one, can't wait for Atomfall to release in March this year, especially for the fact that you can just beat people to death with cricket bats like an absolute bounder. Number 6. Instinction. An open-world action-adventure game inspired by Dino Crisis? Yes please. Instinction is primarily set in a valley in the Yucatan Peninsula, where players can discover a hidden land where dinosaurs live side by side with an ancient human civilization. Players take control of the Mexican-American ecologist Isabel Sierra as she explores the peninsula and crosses paths with a mysterious organization which descends upon the land. Gameplay consists primarily of exploration, puzzle solving, and combat, and the footage that we've seen so far looks utterly mesmeric. The beauty of the Unreal 5 engine makes every piece of vegetation seem good enough to eat, to say nothing of the incredible creatures that sprawl across the land. Better yet, Instinction also supports co-op play for up to 3 players to explore its teeming world together, from its dense forests to temples, research facilities, and underwater caves. If Instinction lives up to its storming potential, it's going to be one of the most richly immersive open-world games of 2025, and it can't come soon enough. But unfortunately, we don't know exactly when that is. It's just listed as 2025 ? Number 5. Ananta. Ananta is an open-world anime RPG originally known as Project Mugen and received a formal unveiling last December, and you know what? It looks, in a single word, wild. Fusing eye-poppy anime-inspired art style with Grand Theft Auto sandbox metropolis and web-slinging action straight out of Insomniac's Spider-Man, this is nothing if not a distinctive grab bag of things that players already know and most definitely love. The gorgeous reveal trailer makes it clear that this is a deeply silly game that isn't taking itself too seriously, yet the world looks genuinely joyous to explore. And beyond the expected combat, the open world will be packed with social activities and non-violent things for players to do with up to 3 friends. With so many urban open world games set in relentlessly grey cities, Ananta looks to inject a wealth of colour and personality into that formula, and better yet, it will launch as a free-to-play title, but unfortunately, it doesn't have an exact release date just yet. Number 4. Exekiller. Exekiller is a semi-open world first-person shooter set in a post-apocalyptic, retro-futuristic Western locale. In this dystopian alt reality, a catastrophe has left the Earth a barren desert and the remnants of humanity are struggling to survive. Players control Denzel Phoenix, a bounty hunter who works for a shady organization in the ruins of what used to be New York City, and they embark on a journey that will teach him about both himself and the wider world. Developer Paradox Studios has played up the game's emphasis on player choice, for while it offers a linear single-player story, gameplay and dialogue choices can have a major impact on where that narrative goes. Paradox has also set expectations accordingly up front by confirming that the world will consist of numerous smaller locations that are connected by a central hub. It may be modest as open worlds go, but the gameplay and aesthetic appears to be splitting the difference quite nimbly between Fallout New Vegas and Cyberpunk 2077. Hopefully, its more streamlined world will also result in an experience that is all killer, no filler. Exekiller is planned to release sometime in 2025. Number 3. Little Devil Inside. Little Devil Inside is a third-person open-world adventure incorporating survival, combat, and exploration gameplay. First announced by developer NeoStream Interactive almost an entire decade ago, the game invites players to explore a geographically diverse world while cataloging supernatural monsters and facing off against the elements. With a charmingly expressionistic art style and blackly comic vibe, Little Devil Inside looks like a truly original stab at an open-world action-adventure game, and one that'll hopefully be worth the enormous wait. It's little secret that the game has had a tough development cycle punctuated with many years of radio silence, enough so that it was actually believed to have been quietly cancelled on several occasions. But NeoStream resurfaced last year to apologise for the wait and to assure fans that Little Devil Inside is indeed still coming, and that development recently shifted to Unreal Engine 5. We can only hope that the game is as amazing as it looks and pays off so many years of hard graft. And as for when Little Devil Inside will release, well, the answer is whenever it's done. Number 2. The Sinking City 2. 2019's Lovecraftian open-world detective game The Sinking City didn't exactly set the world alight, but its smart writing, evocative world-building, and investigation mechanics nevertheless won it a legion of loyal fans. It also laid a firm foundation for a sequel to improve upon, and so there's the hope that Sinking City 2 will do just that. Developer Frogwares has confirmed that their standalone sequel will unfold within a smaller semi-open world compared to its predecessor, which perhaps struggled due to the developer's reach exceeding their their grasp. A more focused, bloat-free world can only benefit this follow-up, which takes place in the city of Arkham in the 1920s as it becomes overwhelmed with floodwater, changing the city as the game progresses. Coupled with an apparently greater emphasis on survival, horror, and combat, A Sinking City 2 will hopefully be the lean, mean, supernatural detective thriller its predecessor just fell slightly short of. And The Sinking City 2 is due to release sometime in 2025. And number 1, Light No Fire. No Man's Sky developer Hello Games announced their new open-world title project back in 2023, the wildly ambitious adventure game known as Light No Fire. The game takes place in a procedurally generated fantasy world the size of our own Earth, with the player free to explore a persistent shared world and interact with other players. While Hello Games caught plenty of flack for No Man's Sky's underwhelming launch, they've spent the last decade working hard to deliver a game that far surpasses those initial expectations, and so it's easy to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're going to be better prepared for their new title, which promises a truly open world at a scale never attempted in video games before. If Hello Games can deliver what they're selling, then this bold fusion of RPG and survival sandbox game could be the open world game to rule them all. But as for when it's coming out, we don't actually have a current release date, so all it's going to be is just wait for that fire to start. Or not, the light, whatever. And there we go, my friends. Those were 10 upcoming open world games you needed to know about. I hope that you enjoyed that, and let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below. And while I get down there, why not tell me which video game you're looking forward to playing the most that's dropping in March this year? Let me know down below. As always, I've been Jules. You can go follow me over on Blue Sky, where I'm at RetroJ, but the O is a 0. Hope to see you over there, and I hope that you're treating yourself well with love and respect, my friend, because you deserve the bloody best, alright? Remind yourself each and every day that you are a big ledge and you deserve the bloody best. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.